Hi guys, my name is Marco. Welcome back to my channel for another video. I was just speaking about it with my amazing digital marketing coach, Pedro, who's right behind the camera. Everybody say hi, even though he can't hear you. This is something that has been lingering on my mind for a past few weeks, and what more than a wonderful topic to talk about than my experiences gigging this past December, especially two that came to mind. Have you guys ever walked away from something somewhat empty or somewhat let down? A little bit of backstory. I worked with this company that I had seen online. Fortunately, the opportunity came across. I performed with them one other time and it went very well. I received this opportunity to perform just a week in advance. You have to learn all of this repertoire for this performance in two different performance times in a single day. The majority of them I knew, some of them I had to learn. Because of a time window of a 1 week, there wasn't much opportunity to rehearse. The person that had extended this invitation to perform told me that there probably would not be a rehearsal, though I would be in good hands, which I didn't doubt either. It wasn't so much their word that I was questioning or the quality of the musicians, but it's always that how prepared are we? I've performed a lot in events or scenarios where people don't pay to be entertained. I perform at the airport, busked a little bit, in restaurants as well. I am something that's an added benefit to the venue, but it's not the whole or the sole focus of the venue, but more something complementary to the venue for its guests. But in this case, it's different. So I feel an added pressure in that things need to be prepared. And if we have only a week, then we really gotta get our things together. It took a while for a group chat, if you will. I asked, hey, can we meet up? I'd really like to get this together as well as possible, but nobody was available or people just wouldn't reply. I do my best to learn these songs as well as I can. And then comes the day. If you're in the music performing business, then sound check is really a rehearsal opportunity, but I wouldn't think it replaces one. The performance day comes and we're there for sound check. This is where things start falling a little bit apart for me. From the get-go, once I arrived, it's not that people were ignoring me, but there wasn't really this, hi, my name is so-and-so. Oh, hey, all right, let's go. It's just, whoa. It's like, hey, how are you? How's your day? I know we got something to do, but just touching base. Soundcheck goes, we make the most of it that we can. We make some important decisions. Whenever we're in the green room, there's, I would say, a certain synergy between some of the other musicians, and people could be like, hey, how are you feeling? Or let's get to know each other just for a few minutes. Like, we're about to share the stage for 150 people, more or less. It might really benefit us both if we were to get to know each other just a little bit better and have the best time on stage. And then there was an intermission. I only really spent time with one other musician, and I'm really grateful to that musician for taking the energy and the disposition to get to know me a little bit. That's perhaps the best part of my experience that day. The second performance, having bonded with at least one musician, I think it went better. I was a bit more let loose. Once it ended, I reached out to congratulate some of the musicians. Sometimes you shake people's hands, and the moment that your hand touches, like, they look away because your body speaks for you, and it's like, okay, yeah, cool, whatever. And it's just, what are you doing? I'm from Venezuela, and we have this expression called matar un tigre, which is you do a job just to get paid and to make your ends meet, and I find it disheartening when that seems to be the overall tone. I bring this all up because to me it's so a jarring contrast as to what I experienced 2 days later working for the same company for another holiday show. I knew beforehand what I was getting myself into. We knew it wouldn't be necessarily compensated, but we got together to rehearse a couple of times, which I think made a world of a difference, even though on the performance day I was also very nervous. I've gotten so used to performing with people just passing me by, which other strangers or people that don't dedicate themselves to music might very well look at me and be like, wow, that's really brave of you to sing for strangers, but you get used to it. But then when you're faced with a situation where you have all of these faces finally looking at you and silent, wow, that's like a cold shower that you have to go through. That second performance day comes 2 days after this one, which was a little disheartening. Such a different energy when you're walking in there and knowing that the people that are beside you and behind you, you're all on the same page. It's not like I know each of their individual life stories, but it almost feels like when the willingness and the energy is there, it's like you feel like you've known them all your lives. And that is a priceless attribute. Not to mention that their musicianship is also there. I felt much more rewarded in that I got to share that with my colleagues. Even in the intermission, I reflected on the first performance. I was a little bit disappointed with myself in some aspects of what I could have improved on. And the drummer, he mentioned some words to me. Marco, I think that what people here have come for, what they're really looking for, is to connect. So if I were you, just make sure that you connect with them. Make sure that these songs really reach to them. I mean, who doesn't want to connect through music throughout the year? But this is a time when we're really almost stopping time to connect. So give that to them. As long as you can reach that to them, then you've connected and you've achieved what you've needed to. And going into the second performance, I think the reward for me, besides clearly hopefully more job opportunities, it's being able to walk away from that performance and knowing that I did as best a job as I could. Looking back at these two performances now that a few weeks have passed, I think a couple of things come to mind. When it comes to the company side, the compensation should be more representative of what goes in. So I think it's very important to guarantee and minimize risk. All shows are unpredictable, anything can happen, but minimize that risk by allotting a time for musicians to meet. And how do you do that? If all of the conditions are set as far as marketing, as far as setting, this is a company of abundance of opportunity, then that also needs to come through somehow in people's time. So I'm not asking for a week-long rehearsal of 5 hours each, everything reimbursed. No. An hour. Give them time. Make sure that it's reimbursed, make it worth people's time so that we can get to work and we can cut out and bring out product that people really want. And as far as the artist goes, always bear in mind, you never know what people are going through. We as artists and performers or musicians, really, I mean, music is about having fun. It's about really doing things with intention. And what is the intention besides doing a good job and hoping that they hire you back again? It's with the intention of learning through whatever song that you're performing. Maybe you find a new aspect of yourself. Maybe you're that much more of a better improviser, or you're not that good at improvising. I think that if we as musicians then share that same sort of open eagerness to want to do really well and open ourselves up to each other and start conversations with our fellow musicians, especially if you're not really all that familiar with them. I have to thank my amazing digital marketing coach, Pedro, for this point in prepping for this video. We don't want to build this resentment, this gradual resentment of just performing for a paycheck. That becomes your habit, that becomes your routine, that becomes your mentality. I'm also in this career, but I see it in a different way. I have to see it in a different way. Otherwise, we're just walking skulls almost, in that we're just, okay, well, I need money to be able to pay for my legs and my feet to work to get me to the next paying thing. It's just not being paid is indispensable. But I'm much more for the sort of intangible purpose of performing. When you share it with other people and you more or less in different words and through different perspectives come to that. Wow. I hope you've enjoyed these reflections that I've shared with you as to my performance experiences this past December. Let me know in the comments what you think. Please feel free to share. What were some performances you've had in the past that you've walked in eager, excited, and walked out not at all that excited? Or maybe it turned out even better. I'd love to know what your experiences have been. Please comment, subscribe, let me know what you think, and stay tuned for the next video.